I was gonna wear my Daredevil hat just because it's, you know, the MCU, a film from the MCU that I'm reviewing today, but we're in the middle of playoffs and I gotta support my Oilers. Thunderbolts, or now known as the new Avengers. An unconventional team of antiheroes must embark on a dangerous mission that will force them to confront the darkest corners of their past and find a way to somehow work together. Now, I gotta be honest, I haven't really been in love with the MCU since Endgame. A lot of those movies of the last 3-4 years just haven't really done it for me. There's been a couple, like I really liked Spider-Man No Way Home. I really enjoyed, obviously, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 was one of my favorites. I did enjoy Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings, maybe except for the last like 20 minutes. Deadpool and Wolverine, only because I love Wolverine so much as a character. But ultimately, like, the other films just haven't really been doing it for me. This is the first time that I went, yes, it's like a return to the old school MCU. In a lot of ways it is. In a lot of ways it's not, but it felt like a return to something fun, interesting, cool, different, and I really enjoyed Thunderbolts, or known as the new Avengers now, so I guess that's being spoiled.
Spoiler alert. Stop.
I was surprised at how fast they kind of changed the name of the movie. I thought they maybe brought that out a bit too soon in the marketing, like maybe wait 2, 3, 4 weeks. You know, why are you doing it right after opening weekend? I'm not sure that was the best move, and I think that's a little weird.
Let's get weird! Let's get weird!
It was awesome in the theaters, and I'm so glad that I went opening night and I didn't have that ruined for me, because I would have been annoyed. I would have been pissed. It would have been kind of a waste of a movie. So I have to say the marketing campaign on this movie, not so great, especially with what just happened recently with them releasing the new name of the film. But the actual movie itself, I think, is great. I had an awesome time with this movie. This is a load of fun. I know a lot of people say that, you know, Thunderbolts, this is like the MCU Suicide Squad, and it kind of is. It sort of is. But the way that the movie is told and how the story unfolds and how the characters meet and stuff like that, it's not like the Suicide Squad, actually. So, in fact, this is a lot better, especially a lot better than Suicide Squad.
Well, duh.
The director, Jake Schreier, is a pretty good director. I think I'm saying his name right. He directed the movies like Paper Towns, TV shows like Kidding and Beef, and I think he is like a really solid director. I was curious to see how he was going to do with like a big budget MCU film, and honestly, he did awesome. Like, a lot of these effects were practical effects. Now, don't get me wrong, there's a buttload of CGI in this movie, and of course there is. It's an MCU film, but for like the actual set pieces and props and action, like the hand-to-hand combat is fantastic. There's a couple of really cool chase scenes in the car and on a motorcycle, and like there's some really cool abstract sort of action near towards the end of this film, but they still use like real pieces, real action to tell the story and to show the action in a visceral way. And thank you, Jake. Like, thank you for being a director that does that. And it's not just like, all right, put it in front of a green screen and we're good to go. Like, put your money into your set and your production, and your movie will look great as long as you can shoot it. So I don't like when people just go, yeah, we can CGI it later. No, do it now. Like, do it in the real time, like on film. I was just recently watching Interstellar with my some of my film students, and the thing that I love about Christopher Nolan, even if I criticize him a lot, is that he just makes things look real. And he makes things so grounded, even in something like Interstellar. Like, the machines and the set pieces that they're on are intangible. Like, you can do things with them, where it's not just a CGI screen. And so thank you for making this movie more practical. Now, don't get me wrong, there is CGI in this film, but they use it sparingly and it's sprinkled throughout. It's a little heavy on the back end of the film, as is every other MCU movie, but they do it well and they blend it well, and I thank them for that. Actually, it looks great. This movie looks really cool, and I love the stylistic choices. That also leads to the camera work. I thought some of the action scenes were great. The camera work and how the camera moves throughout the scenes, and there's a really great oneer in this film. I thought the directing overall was really well done. The actors are fantastic. I'm a big lover, big fan of Florence Pugh. She's one of my absolute favorites of the last like 10, 15 years. I love her performances ever since I saw her in Lady Macbeth, and it's awesome to see her take on a lead role in the MCU and not just like a side character in Black Widow and a side character in Hawkeye or whatever else she's been in. Like, she is front and center stage in this film, and she's magnificent. Like, I think she's such a good actor. David Harbour is hilarious and fantastic in this film as Red Guardian. Of course, he's a fan favorite. Love Sebastian Stan. He was great, of course, as Bucky, and it's a different type of Bucky. He's like the superstar amongst them all. Like, he was an actual Avenger. And I love how he's sort of treated. Like, when he shows up, they're all like, yeah, Bucky! And like, he is phenomenal in this film. There's a great chase scene with him on a motorcycle. Like, I love that action set piece. Julia Louis-Dreyfus is awesome in this as Valentina, and I think she is like one of the best parts about this movie, just in her comedy, but her delivery. Like, she's actually such a talented actor, and I just thought she was perfect for this role. She's obviously played this character a few times, but she just felt really polished in this film. Lewis Pullman was great. Wyatt Russell I enjoyed a lot, and so he was great again as John Walker. Hannah John Kamen, like, I thought she was great as Ghost, like even better than she was in Ant-Man and the Wasp. Like, her character feels much more lived in, and I just thought she was better written in this film, and I thought she was great. Like, the whole cast is awesome in this film. Really great ensemble movie. The story was simple but effective. Like, they didn't go crazy and all out, like, you know, universe war. It was actually more of a condensed story, and even just like the first half of the film is like an escape movie. Like, it's an interestingly paced film, but I liked it. Like, a lot of people are like, oh, the second half, and by the time you get there, but I don't see that at all. I actually thought this is a really cohesive film, and I thought it made sense, like, through and through. You didn't have to see every other TV show there ever was. They did a good job of just like introducing these characters, you know, and continuing from where they left off. But if you haven't seen the other things, you can just go fresh into this movie. So I loved that about this film. It felt sort of like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, where it was like a found family movie, and I love those kind of movies. I love Guardians of the Galaxy 3, so this movie kind of reminded me a lot of that in some ways. The comedy is awesome. It's hilarious at times. The production looks great, and it's super entertaining. There is an post-credit scene that you absolutely need to stay for. The mid-credit scene's just sort of like a joke and for fun. I love that, how it made me feel. It was like a blast of the past from 15 years ago. I wasn't quite sure how, you know, they were pulling in this certain character, and, you know, he's hinted at, and I won't spoil anything, but it's played by Bill Pullman, who I thought was great in this movie. I really enjoyed him. But there was times where I wasn't sure where his character fit in, and then he ends up being, you know, really important to the movie, and that's great. But I don't know, like, there just was certain things where they wrote his character. It felt sort of like a weak introduction, and then, you know, just how it plays out by the end, it felt like high risk, but then the stakes didn't feel that high and risky in the end, but like they were playing it off like it was. So it's definitely more of a condensed film, which, again, like I said, it's more of a ground level movie, and I love that. But there is some definitely wonkiness to the pacing of this film, and for some of these characters and their story arcs. And everyone gets a good story arc, that's not the point, but there's so many that they kind of have to juggle throughout the film. And so at times this movie kind of loses its legs, especially in the third act of the film. And that also brings me to the next point. There is a big chunk of this movie that is very abstract and is definitely not in the real world. It's, you know, in the real realm. And it's very much a trippy moment. It's kind of cool as well with the action stuff that they do. But it definitely takes like a left turn at a point. And I love the risk taking, and I love that they took that risk as filmmakers and people who are telling the story. But it was a bit jagged, and it kind of came out of left field in a lot of ways too. And I don't know if that part was really the greatest. Like, the actual eventual overall conflict at the end was a bit cheesy, and it was a bit, you know, sudden and really on the nose. And you definitely get the themes of this movie, you know, they definitely nail that in, especially at the end. But I love that this movie is, you know, deep. It's about stuff. It's about mental health and illness, depression and grief and loss, and, you know, finding community and finding a place to belong. And I love when movies are about that. you know, they take your nose and they make you feel it, like they pound it into your face a little bit too much. And I get that criticism of that movie and I see it. But overall, I actually thought this was one of the better MCU films of the last like 5-6 years, ever since Endgame. I had a lot of fun. I was quite surprised. There were some great twists and turns, awesome characters, great action. It was super entertaining. It actually like meant something and it was talking about something serious in this world. Definitely go check out this movie in theaters. It is so worth it. I had an awesome time. I think most people will too. So I'm gonna go ahead and give Thunderbolts, ding, an A-. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you like this video, make sure you click that like button and subscribe to my channel for more content. Also, comment down below, what did you think of Thunderbolts, aka the new Avengers? Did you love this film? Was this one of the better MCU films, or did you hate this movie? What MCU film are you looking forward to? Come back and check out some other movie reviews, such as Sinners, Death of a Unicorn, and a Minecraft movie. Thanks for stopping by, everyone. Have a great day, and we'll see you on the next film.